Welcome in, guys. Yeah, so what we're going to do here, man, welcome to VC Crypto Nation. We're covering a very interesting thing here. The question is Cosmos over Polkadot, but I sold. So we got a lot of people that have selling their bags on last year. But the question is, see, it's very interesting. So when you're putting in two different coins, what's versus what, you have to kind of like understand what they both do, right? Polkadot and Cosmos are kind of two different type of coins or investments, right? Polkadot is an ecosystem, right? So the question is, how big does an ecosystem get when it has the utility is really just kind of like the system, right? So that's what we have to look at, right? So Polkadot gets 100 umbrellaed one coins that they're going to come out built on their system, and then it's going to be used as the ecosystem. So I don't know how valuable or how Polkadot can basically build a utility for kind of like their coin, right? So the Polkadot coin comes out, it's basically already in there. So I'm not really, you'd have to really see the value of the coin and what it's going to do versus something like Cosmos, right? Cosmos is a little bit different, where Cosmos, let's see here, Tom, where Cosmos is more of a company that goes out and is actually going to build. And what Cosmos does is basically go out there, and their entire thing is they're built to basically be a company that goes out and finds companies that want to come over to the crypto side and use the blockchain technology. And Cosmos is a company that's being built to basically take companies into the crypto world and make it plug and play, so they don't have to do much with their developers in order to use blockchain technology. So to me, that means Cosmos has a bigger utility case. So if I had to look over Cosmos versus Polkadot, I mean, I would think right now that they're considering the ranges, they both hit around the $45 mark, which was interesting. I would say that Cosmos has a better opportunity to return back to its at least half of what it did, so and kind of stand there and be solidified. Now there are a lot of companies that are coming out that there's a company that I'll follow up on this, that it's coming out using the same type of teaching companies to plug and play. And the interesting thing about it was that they made it so easy that they're using the Matic system to kind of build on top, and you don't even need to be a developer to use it. So I think that type of company is going to put a lot of pressure on Cosmos as far as what they're bringing out to the table. So there's a lot to be built there. Now, as far as Polkadot, obviously we know it has the 100 parachains. The ability for Polkadot to build as an ecosystem is massive. And then I'm looking at like Ethereum and their ecosystems and Quant and all these other ones. How big are these systems going to be, and what Polkadot's are, what are they going to use their coin for and adoption? So it's kind of like an interesting moment here on like what to pick, right? So the one thing is, Polkadot's very important here because of one particular thing. It's a multi-chain vision for Web3. Units and security is a growing ecosystem. So Secure's growing ecosystem specializes in blockchains called parachains, right? Apps and services on Polkadot can securely communicate across chains, forming the bias for so basically like a decentralized web for itself. But interoperability is kind of like a key here. And I think what we're looking at here is where's the coin going to be really adapted, right? Polkadot consumes a small fraction of the energy used by other blockchains. That's what you really want to go in there and say, okay, what is Polkadot worth to me? So this would be a scenario where you'd be basically staking the coins and see which coin is giving you a better staking opportunity for their platform, because that's where the value of the coin is really going to make you some money. So that's how I would look at it. It's just basically how much are the staking rewards? Obviously, Polkadot's going to be around, and if you had to put them up against each other, might be around longer than Atom, but Atom is a service provider as well. So it's a very interesting thing, you know, like especially right now, it's hard to pick what crypto is going to be like an exploding scenario. But with the parachains and the ecosystem side, Polkadot is very, very interesting. Plus, this is where you want to get into. That's why I like Moonbeam, and I also like Moon River, because they're the coins that are going to be used a lot in the transitions of bringing other blockchains into Polkadot, etc. So it's a very interesting scenario. So we'd have to dive a little bit deep here to see where they're really like coming across. So cross blockchain transfers of any type of data, assets, just tokens connecting to Polkadot gives you the ability to interact with worldwide. So you know, both these scenarios are going to be good picks if you're looking to invest in something. Obviously, Polkadot has a higher probability, but once again, it's an ecosystem coin. So I'm not really sure when it comes down to that how much that's going to affect the coin, because it's not, you know, there's just a lot of questions to be answered right now, especially with so many other coins and Hyperledger and technology and companies using, you know, like Matic for cross chains. I mean, there's just a lot of questions here on how big everything will get. Now, you can look at these coins and say, you know, theoretically, you're probably going to get back to these all-time highs in the next year or so. So if it's a long-term investment or something you're looking for, I think all these coins are good, you know, yearly or 2 yearly investments. But as that time goes on, we definitely want to be watching the new technology that comes out, because that is going to be key as far as like which one of these coins are going to survive. You know, more of these coins are surviving the downfalls and holding their spots in the top 100 as we move forward, because mass adoption is really coming through. And obviously Polkadot fits into all the scenarios of Web3, future being, you know, used. It's one of the only coins that is capable to have their information back and forth with Matic. So there's a lot that Polkadot offers, and Cosmos is more of a service coin, right? So Cosmos is going to be where it's going to be, you know, where they're bringing companies in and they're working with companies, because that's kind of what Cosmos is, right? So it's going to be a very interesting thing there. I would probably go with Polkadot over Cosmos simply because the parachains. So that's where, you know, when people ask me the questions, which one would you go to? I'd probably choose Polkadot over Cosmos just because of the parachains and the ability for the bigger growth. Because I do see a lot of companies that can compete with Cosmos on what it does. So that just means they're sharing a lot of market value, market cap, and it's going to be really hard to compete with the technology and companies that are coming out to do what Cosmos is doing. So unless Cosmos gets very aggressive in its marketing and all the things it needs to be, then they're just going to be kind of one of the many that are out there. So so that's where I would kind of sneak into the Polkadot scenario over Cosmos. And not to mention right now Polkadot is still down, and it does look like, you know, from an aspect of trading and everything. Let's take a look at DOT. Yeah, so from the look of trading, it does look like everything's starting to break out here. And I think you would probably get more for your buck on a Polkadot than you would Cosmos. But, you know, like I said, it's all marketing. I just would go with the parachains over the other thing, just because there is a lot more competition right now for Cosmos that I've been really, you know, going over versus for Polkadot, because Polkadot's kind of like got the ecosystem side to it. So that's what I think of it, man. Leave your comments. Let me know that what you think, Cosmos versus Polkadot, what you think would favor one or the other. It's a very interesting comparison, but I would throw that up there, guys. Appreciate your time stopping in, man. Like always, follow, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about which one you would like and why it's better.